If you only had 5 minutes and you said, Mona, I need to learn the best sales strategy that you have, this is what I would tell you. The best sales strategy you could possibly do that would make you dramatically different than all other salespeople is to use the pattern interrupt technique. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that is, why it's important, and how you can actually use it. My name is Mona, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that now so you don't miss the next video. If you like to learn about sales, business, psychology, and life. Okay, so for the best sales strategy, in my opinion, the pattern interrupt technique is the most effective technique you can use that will dramatically set you apart from all other salespeople and from most of your competition. And if you are at the top of your sales leaderboard, or if you generally tend to excel in sales, you're probably already using this technique and you may just not have known what the name was before. So what is the pattern interrupt? Essentially, what it is a technique that grabs the customer's attention. It's that simple. It is something that interrupts the normal thought process of the customer and grabs their attention. And in sales, right now, most people do what most other people do. So what you want to do as a best salesperson is do anything that's different than the majority. And this is one of the best techniques you could possibly be using to do that. In other words, this is actually something that will make the computer twitch. So what I mean by that, if you've seen the movie Passengers, just comment below. It's one of my favorite movies. I get made fun of for it, by the way. I watch it so much. But in the movie, The Passengers, there's a part where the guy, who's the only person that's awake on the aircraft, so he goes up to the bartender and he asks him a question that the bartender or the robot cannot compute because it's not a direct yes or no question. It requires some let's say some illogical or some out of the box thinking, and a computer can't do that. A computer is very straightforward. 1 2 3 4 5 2 + 2 = 4. So when the guy asked the robot this question, the robot literally did this. And that's a computer twitching. So that's what I want you to think of in terms of the pattern interrupt. That's what I want the customer or the client on the other end of the phone, that's what I want their brain to do when you use this technique. Another way I can explain it to you is if the client that you're calling, they're in the middle of doing something, anything. Let's say they're typing an email, okay? So I'm the client, you call me, and I'm in the middle of typing an email, I answer the phone, and you start talking. If I continue typing this email while you're talking to me, then you failed. You failed. It's that simple. Because if you do this technique correctly, this is what I should do as the customer. So I'm typing the email, you call me, I answer the phone, and what you said is so interesting, different, familiar, or funny, I'll get to that in a minute, that it makes me do this. I stop typing the email and I start focusing on you. This is what you want. So why is this technique so important? The first reason is because it grabs the customer's attention, and you need that as a good salesperson or as a great salesperson. That's the first step in any sales process, getting the customer's attention. Because if you cannot get the customer's attention, then it really doesn't matter how good you are at anything else because you're going to lose them from the beginning. So number one, get the customer's attention. The second thing that this is really useful for is keeping the customer on the phone longer, or just extending the conversation, whether it's on the phone or face-to-face. And the third reason that this is so important is because once you can get the customer's attention and extend that conversation, by default, your chances of closing the sale are going to increase. So now let me give you some ideas of how you can actually execute this specific sales strategy. To use the pattern interrupt technique, you want to keep in mind these few factors. What you're going to say, it should either be funny, and if you're not sure why funny is so important or how to do it, you can watch this video right here. Or if you don't want to be funny, you can be familiar, or very simply, unexpected. But overall, what you want to be is different. This is the key. Whether it's being funny or familiar or unexpected, overall, you're just being different. And different is the winning element. Now, a lot of salespeople will say, well, I don't want to be unprofessional. I'm not saying be unprofessional. I'm saying be funny, familiar, or unexpected, while keeping that level of professionalism, of course, at all times. So it also really depends on your industry, your country, where do you live, the personality that's on the other side of the phone. You have to take into consideration all of these factors, but at the same time, be different. So let me give you some examples. If you want to be familiar, the way you can do that is instead of saying, hi, this is Muna, I'm calling with ABC, how are you today? Because that's boring. You can call and you can say, hi, Layla. Because Layla, when she answers that call and she hears that, that's going to make her think, do I know her? And that's what I mean by familiar. If you can be familiar in that sense, right away you're going to get that customer's attention. And then once you have their attention, that's when you continue on with that conversation. Another example, what's something very typical that most salespeople say at the beginning of the call? How are you today? Right? So after you introduce yourself, you can say, how are you today? And I'm not saying it's bad to ask, how are you? I will do that from time to time. But if we're talking about pattern interrupts, what's something better you can be asking? You can literally say, did I catch you before lunch? Is that a weird question? Yeah, it's kind of weird. How often do you hear that? Not that often, but that's why it works, because that will make the customer stop typing the email. Did you catch me before lunch? Who am I talking to? Somebody different. That's who you're talking to. So that would sound like this. Hi, Bob. Yeah, this is Bob. Bob, this is Muna with ABC. Did I catch you before lunch? Yeah, you did actually. Oh, okay, good. Well, then I'll keep this short. I'm calling because da da da. But right there, I've got his attention because I said something that was totally different. I asked him about lunch. It was very direct and to the point. And now he's listening to what I'm saying. So I better be good the rest of the call as well. But I'm showing you ways to get their attention at the beginning. I'll give you one more example, and this is a really fun one. You have to be careful who you use this with, because with the wrong personality, they will hang up. So you can call and say, hi, is this Bob? Bob says, yeah. And you say, hi, well, this is Muna. Just to let you know, this is a sales call. So do you want to hang up or should I? Now, some people are going to hang up, but most people are going to laugh. And if they laugh, you're off to a great start. And again, if you don't know why, watch this video. Try out a few of these techniques. Come up with your own pattern interrupts as well. These were just a few that you can use in the beginning of the call, but the options are endless. Just make sure you're either being familiar, funny, or unexpected in some way, and you're saying things that really just make you different and make the computer stop from a customer's mind perspective. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know how the pattern interrupt technique worked for you. If you only had one sales strategy you could ever use, make it this one and drop a comment below. Let me know what pattern interrupt you came up with and maybe I'll steal it from you. See you in the next video.